Hi there, welcome back to Too Crazy About Wood. Today I'm going to make a track saw. That's a guide that will help you with your skill saw to cut very straight lines. I thought I'd just show you a few things that we're going to use. We'll need a couple of these, and we'll need some 4x1/2 flat socket head screws. They're the real small little ones. And then also, just to make your job a little easier, some Super Bond 10-second adhesive. That does the job because it just helps to glue those pieces in fast and they won't move around for you. And of course, we're gonna need some laminate. So I bought a real cheap box of laminate, and collectively all of the pigs I've bought was under $40. So let's get started. Alright, so I cut two pieces. This groove left on, because that'll be the runner to accept the aluminum track. Then I center it on the board. Sure these interlock together. Mark it. This end here will now go down the end. So what I want to do now is router a little groove in here to accept this aluminum track. The 2 3/4 pieces of laminate, I'm going to click them together with these scraps of laminate just to keep them straight. With laminate, when you click it together, a little bit of force, gently though, this makes sure that everything seats correctly and clicks into place. By doing that, you get a factory straight line. So after you've clicked it together, flip it onto its front, and using a straight edge, mark where you put the groove to accept the aluminum track. It's important to leave these pieces of metal here in place next to the 2 3/4 inch pieces of laminate so that this gap here will stay the thickness of the track metal. So I wanted to keep the track as thin as possible. I'm going to add another plate underneath here to give this cutting straight edge some rigidity and some strength. So what I did, because the only piece basically, this is the weak link right here is where the joint is. This piece obviously goes directly over the joint, so that gave it some strength, but adding a plate onto the back was absolutely necessary, and I epoxied that into place. Now I need to figure out how to attach this track to my skill saw. First of all, I know I need to change the cord on my skill saw to make it safer. But I thought I'd talk a little bit about where these pieces attach here to this track that interlocks into the cutting sled track. I had to adjust this back screw here with it pivoting on the front screw until it was cutting exactly parallel, because the first time I cut it, it didn't go great. I mean, it cut off on an angle like this until the front of the blade just bound on the cutting sled itself, on the cutting track. And so I no longer could go any further until I adjusted the back here so that it was cutting parallel. So that's something that you'll need to keep in mind when you set this up for yourself. So now that we've made our track saw guide, we need to make sure when we place it on top of the wood we want to cut, it's not going to slide, because as we all know, laminate's very smooth. So what I thought I'd do is this is actually laminate underpad, but this is a high quality, high density foam. It's 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to cut this and stick it to the bottom of our track saw, and I think that'll take care of any slipping that will happen.